Yeah, hello guys. It's me. It's today's show. We are going to be talking about the transfer rumor. You know, transfer window opened officially on the 1st of January. And we have seen different sort of world-class players have been linked to different clubs. Players like Mbappe is very much free. There has been rumor that there's every possibility that he might end up in Liverpool should, in case Real Madrid does not feel the need to bounce on the deal. There's every possibility that he might end up in Liverpool. I'll come into that later. And Victor Osimhen has been linked to Chelsea. Ivan Toney has also been linked to Chelsea. Lately, he has been quiet about Arsenal. And right now, the thing is this, and I'll say this to Arsenal fan. If Arsenal fan or Arsenal as a club does not understand that they need a striker, or should I say this, if Edo, who is the sporting director, and Mikel Arteta does not understand that they need a striker, I think they need to sack those guys. And that's the honest truth. They need to sack those guys, because I do not understand, for one, what is the obsession that Mikel Arteta has with midfielders. I do not understand, for one. So you're telling me that Arsenal are mourning, screaming, yelling that popping out 80 million, 100 million for Ivan Toney, it's too much. But coughing out 65 million for Kai Havertz, coughing out 105 million pounds for Declan Rice is not too much. Make it make sense to me. Because if there is one thing they've proven, those like Arsenal forward have proven, is that they are not good enough. Martinelli is crap. Gabriel Jesus is crap. Nketiah is rubbish. And right now, Saka is not really doing as much, because sometimes the job becomes too much for just one person. But the fact that we are sitting down here, we are still talking about Arsenal wanting to get a midfielder is beyond me. Honestly, it makes no sense to me. He has spent 680 million pounds so far on transfer. Tell me, and this is a guy that came to the club whereby they had a striker in Aubameyang and Lacazette. Aubameyang guarantees you goals, at least 17, 18, 20 goals a season. He got rid of him. Got rid of Mesut Ozil. Because it doesn't make any sense to me. It does not make any sense to me. And that is the honest truth. You came into the club, you got rid of Aubameyang, a striker that guarantees you goals. You got rid of him. And who did you sign as his replacement? Gabriel Jesus. Ever since he joined Arsenal, how many goals have he scored? Because sometimes fans will tell you, back the process, back the manager. But they tend to forget that whenever they're splashing out the money, it's the owner of the club that does it, not the manager. Make it make sense to me. How do you come into the club, got rid of a striker, of strikers like Alakazet and Aubameyang that gets you goals, guarantees you goals, and did your own thing? And Arsenal have been suffering ever since. The reason why Arsenal did not win the league last season was because they did not have the score depth, they didn't have the mentality, they did not have good strikers. So, here and now, I'm saying it. If Arsenal do not see that they need a striker, it's a problem. Then I will say you sack Arteta and your sporting director. And I'll tell you the truth. I've been hearing about Vlahovic. Vlahovic is a very good striker. Yes, I know. But the honest truth is this. What Vlahovic did in Fiorentina, he has never done 25% of it playing for Juventus ever since they bought him. And that is honest truth. He has not done 25% of what he did playing for Fiorentina in Juventus. And this is the sort of striker Arsenal are trying to get, because they feel that Brentford wants too much money for Ivan Toney. Because you guys need to understand that this is the reality we're living right now. Going for Vlahovic, it suits the way Arsenal will play, but I will say it here and now, it's the wrong move. It is the wrong move, because Vlahovic is the same as Gabriel Jesus. He's never fit. He's injury prone. So I don't understand why Arsenal will be looking into signing somebody like Vlahovic for 65 million pounds. Then he comes in and does the same exact thing they have right now in the club. When I say Arsenal need a striker, I'm talking about a striker like Victor Osimhen, of which you know they can get, of somebody like what's his name, Ivan Toney. But right now you see them complaining about the price, and this does not make any sense to me. It does not. Does Vlahovic suit the way Liverpool play? Arsenal play? Yes, but I do not see it as a good signing for Arsenal to do. Now, another thing I'll talk about is this. I, for one, do not understand what Chelsea are doing, because for me, I was thinking already they will be making plans to sign Osimhen. I know he's playing in the AFCON. But I still believe that they have everything they want to speak to the agent to sign Osimhen. But there've been some kind of delay, of which I don't know why. And I've been saying it since last year. If Chelsea wants to at least redeem whatever they have left of the season, they need to go into the January transfer window and sign a striker. And that is the honest truth. And probably they are looking into getting what's his name, Ivan Toney. Whatever they do, but as long they get a striker that guarantees them goals, then I can see them finishing very well. Now, let us take a look on the transfer windows, on players that are being linked to different clubs. You have Ivan Toney being linked to Arsenal and Chelsea. You have Mbappe being linked to Liverpool, though we all know his priority, or where everybody knows he might end up, is Real Madrid. Then we have Victor Osimhen with Chelsea. You have Vlahovic, Arsenal. Then you have a Manchester City team whereby they've got the best squad in England, probably in the world. They've got the best CDM right now in the world in Rodri, and they are looking into adding it with Joshua Kimmich from Bayern Munich. Like, it's crazy, it's breathtaking. They've got the best team currently in England. Then they are looking into adding it with Joshua Kimmich. Just like when you have Liverpool, I don't want to even think about it. Having Mbappe and Mo Salah in Liverpool is something we talk about, but we don't want to see it happen, because it's going to make the Premiership explode. Then you have a team like Manchester United. Like, sometimes I ask myself, like, how do you guys feel? Like, when you're a United fan, how do you cope? Like, it must be very, very sad to be a United fan, honestly. Then you hear the sort of player Manchester United are being linked to: Goresi, Choupo-Moting, and Timo Werner. Even they can't even get a deal done, because right now there is a breaking news from Fabrizio Romano that Timo Werner looks more that he's going to end up in Tottenham. That club, it's in crisis. And honestly, I believe if United really want to just do something with their season in the next 4, 5, 8 years, what they need to do is they need to change their orientation first. They need to come to accept to the fact that they are nothing more than just a middle table team. Honestly, they need to accept the fact that they are nothing more but a middle table team, and that is the only way they can start and save whatever season, or save the club. Let me just say it, put it like that: save this club, because that will allow them break everything down. Like, break everything down and start from the scratch. And the thing is this: I've seen so many people talk defending Ten Hag, but I said something right now. Ten Hag is also a problem in United. I want to go through the dangerous signing Ten Hag have done ever since he joined Man United. Dangerous signings. And people Ten Hag have let go for free, for nothing, out of the club. You have somebody like Ronaldo. What the Ten Hag did, he got rid of him. You had somebody like David De Gea. And meanwhile, guys, at first, I for one never knew Ten Hag had all the transfer power in his palms. So for some reason, I'm always defending him, like, no, dude, you can't put the blame on Ten Hag. Put it on the Glazers. I will tell you guys for free, I for one, I know very well that Glazers are a very terrible owners to any team could have as the owner of a football club. But Ten Hag have come into this club and made it worst. He has made it worst. They tell you Ten Hag overachieved last season. He won a Carabao Cup and he took third. I remember vividly well that Mourinho came into Manchester United in his first season. In his first season, he won a Community Shield, Carabao Cup, Europa Cup, and he got second that same season. Second. Now, the backing was not there financially, of which that made Mourinho failed and he got the sack. Ten Hag have came in, they have literally given me anything anything he would want to succeed at the club. Then you have a coach that is stupid, and the reason I say he's stupid is this: before Ten Hag was coming into United, is this: there was Rafnik. He was the coach of Manchester United, interim coach actually, and he was supposed to be the sporting director, to work above and work hand to hand with Erik Ten Hag. But because Ten Hag has pride, has ego, he decided that he wants to do everything by himself. You want to be the manager, you want to be the sporting director, you want to be the fitness coach and everything. And that made United got rid of somebody that was going to be the one person that can transform, that was supposed to transform these teams, this team called United. When Rafnik was in United, he said something that if you want United to be better again, if you want United to be better, they need to do open heart surgery. And that open heart surgery is selling 10 players and getting in 10 players. And he mentioned players United should get. I remember vividly well, he mentioned Darwin Núñez, he mentioned Nkunku, he mentioned Alvarez, he mentioned Enzo Fernandez, and he mentioned Nkunku and Guadoy. Now guys, go and check all these players Rafnik mentioned. Enzo Fernandez and Alvarez, they were still playing in Argentina then. Like they were still playing in Argentina league when Rafnik talked about these players. But what happened? They ignored. They got a manager that believes he could do the job, he can do everything by himself. In Ten Hag. And ever since he has been to the club, what I haven't seen, it has been catastrophe, crap signings. Make it make sense to me. You keep buying players to suit the way you play, but we're not even seeing the way you play. He signed Mason Mount for £55 million. And that alone, I keep saying it, that alone, if I was the owner of United, or if I was Sir Jim coming into that club, God knows I will sack him for that. That alone, it is sackable. That alone is sackable. That alone is sackable. You had players like James Ward-Prowse, Yuri Tillemans, and James Maddison. I will tell you guys for free, if you gave those three guys the offer and say, can you come to United, those players, 2 out of 3 would choose to play for United than playing for any other club, which is than Aston Villa or Tottenham. And I'm telling you, James Maddison will be one that will be willing to play for United. same as James Ward-Prowse, and same as, like, I believe 3 of them would choose United over the option of Aston Villa and Tottenham. But because Ten Hag is a stupid guy, his coaching IQ is 0. He could not spot the potentials of these guys. Rather, you were going for a player that struggled for form in Chelsea. You paid £55 million for the dude and brought him to the club. And that is madness. That is pure madness. This is the same guy that signed Rasmus Højlund for £72 million. We're talking about a striker that just had a breakthrough season last year. Or should I say last season or last 2 years. He has his breakthrough season. Ten Hag deemed it fit that is worth £72 million. Now, credit to Rasmus Højlund. He's a very good lad. I believe he has potentials. I believe he can be more dangerous than Haaland. But the honest truth is he is nowhere worth £72 million. He is nowhere near £72 million. Now, they keep talking about player power in Manchester United. Explain this to me. How is Onana being allowed to still play a game against Wigan and Tottenham Hotspur? I have seen United fan saying Beinda might be crap, and that is why Ten Hag wants to stick with Onana. But the question I ask these guys, have those guys ever asked themselves that Beinda might actually be more of a good keeper than Onana? Because one thing is this: Onana trains with Beinda. He has seen what he can do in the training session. He knows very well, and that is why I believe Onana is trying to give Beinda as much few games that he can, because he is very much scared of losing his place to Beinda. Another thing is this: Ten Hag could also be sticking with Onana because it will be actually shameful and disgraceful whereby a £3 million goalkeeper comes and do way better than a goalkeeper you signed for 50 million does. And these are things some Manchester United fans are not really put into consideration, because that is what I'm seeing here right now. You get some tell you we haven't seen Beinda play, you don't know what it's all about. Then tell me, how will you even know what it's all about whereby he has not been given a chance to prove himself? He has not. We have seen every goalkeeper, almost the 20 Premiership club top in the Premiership, we have seen their number 1 goalkeeper, their number 2 goalkeeper, down to Sheffield United. I have seen their reserve goalkeeper played in clubs like Carabao Cup and Europa Cup, but I have even some in Premiership. But I have never seen what this boy called Beinda looks like, because Ten Hag would not give him a chance. And now we saw the same thing. Last season. Like, it took David De Gea to have an injury for him to give Dubravka a chance. And right now we are seeing the same exact things happening with Benda. Against Crystal Palace Carabao Cup, Benda should be playing those matches. You should be giving him a chance. There's no, like, even against Wenger on Monday, he should be giving Benda a chance, because there's no way how bad Benda could be. You guys are playing Wenger, for crying out loud. You are playing Wenger, a League One team. I don't want to know how bad Benda could be. You guys are playing a League One team. The fact that Ten Hag could allow and support and back Onana staying back to play the game against Wenger and Tottenham, it's a shame. And putting into consideration, Cameroon are having a match the following day after United. Cameroon are playing their first game the following day, and Ten Hag allows that. The honest truth is this: Ten Hag needs to be sacked. I'm not saying sack him now. You can sack him at the end of the summer. But the honest truth is this: Manchester United will never move forward without doing that open heart surgery Rafnik talked about. And now the thing is this: before United can succeed again, I think 8 to 10 players needs to go. 8 to 10 players needs to go. Look the sort of signing they've been linked to. We know very well Olise from Crystal Palace, they've been linked to United. We know very well they have a slim chance of getting that dude. There's no way they will be able to get him. Those are just PR spin. Now look at the sort of player they've been linked to: Timo Werner, Choupo-Moting and Guresi. Guresi will only cost United £15 million. This lad is banking in the goals in Bundesliga. He plays for Stuttgart. There are players like Boniface. He plays for Bayern Munich, Bayer Leverkusen. You ask yourself, what does Ten Hag do? What does he do with his time? Because you claim you want to be signing the players. Scout the players then. There are players like Boniface that will cost you less money. Guresi is one of them. £50 million. They should be cashing. There's no reason why they should not be doing that deal. There's no reason. They tell you it's a risk. It's a risk. And their deluded fans will tell you they're not good enough to play for United. Like, who is good enough to play for United currently in your team? Who? Because some of them, they've got brand, but mentality, they not fit enough to play for United. And that is the honest truth. Now they've been linked to Choupo-Moting. It's a shame. It's a fucking shame that you will allow the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo out. Then you want to you sacked, got rid of Ronaldo and replaced him with Workhorse. Guys, that is sackable. Now we're talking about Choupo-Moting. Choupo-Moting playing for Bayern Munich. He hardly plays. And he's 34 for crying out loud. 34 years old. He's 34 years old for crying out loud. 34. So this makes you ask yourself, what actually is Ten Hag doing? Because to me, I think Ten Hag is just confused. He's confused. And don't. I'm not taking anything from Chimomoteng. I do believe he can do a job, because when you look at the CV and things he has won, he can come in there as a top striker. No matter anything you want to say about Chimomoteng, I will tell you for a fact that his CV speaks very well than whatever they have in the forward in United there, because he has won things. He has won Champions League. He has won leagues, both in Bayern Munich and playing for PSG. He has won it. But the honest truth is this: you look at his age and look at what sort of a player he is. Is he good enough? Then he's not getting playing time in Bayern Munich, because there's a guy called Ter. He plays ahead of Choupo-Moting. We even heard about when they also talked about Thomas Muller. Thomas Muller. I ask you guys, is this what Manchester United have suddenly become? Whereby we'll go for things people do not want anymore. Timo Werner left Chelsea to Leipzig. Right now he's struggling to get playing time. United could not even do the deal, because when you look at all this signing, Choupo-Moting, Guirassy and Timo Werner, the one we know that is even better of all of them is Timo Werner, sorry. But because we know United are always bloody useless when it comes to transfer deals, Timo Werner is heading to Tottenham, which means Manchester United are going to end up with a workhorse kind of deal in Choupo-Moting. It's crazy, guys. But like I said, coming to Arsenal, if Arsenal don't go out there to get a striker, I think by the end of season, whatever they are on the table, Arteta should be sacked. Because you don't spend £680 million and yet you don't have a very world-class striker in that amount of money being spent. You do not. And that is the honest truth. Now let me know, guys, where do you think Kylian Mbappe will end at? Do you think there's every possibility that it will end at Liverpool? Or do you think Real Madrid will do the deal? Or do you see him staying back at PSG? Because we have seen this before. We have seen it before. And I would like you guys to let me know, the Citizens fan, let me know how, what do you think about Joshua Kimmich joining Man City? What does that make that team become? Let me know, guys, in the comment section. For me, guys, I'm out. I love you guys, and thanks for watching. And please, guys, do not forget, if this is your first time of coming across the channel, please kindly subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel tremendously.